Hello everyone, my name is Mikel Angelo and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about carrying a full-size gun. And what I basically want to go over is that what is it like carrying a full-size gun? Carrying a full-size gun is easy if you do it right. You just need a really good holster, a really good gun belt, and just when it comes to concealed carrying full-size firearms, that is the only time when I will actually say you kind of have to dress around the gun, right? And I'm not saying that you have to wear a XL t-shirt if you're normally a medium. I'm just saying that instead of wearing a medium, you have to wear a large. And this is also entirely dependent on how the shirt is cut and fitted, meaning that without getting too fashionista on this channel, is that if you're buying, say, from Express, and Express is notoriously slim fit, you might have to go up a size larger, or it might just be very hard to conceal a handgun in general because it it tapers down, right? And then that creates a smaller waist. There is less material to cover the gun because it tapers, right? Now, if you get a straight box cut type of shirt, which is pretty much any normal standard t-shirt, it's going to be a lot easier because you have so much room at your waist as you do at your chest. So concealing this gun is easier. And then color and design is a big thing too. Obviously black conceals the best. Black with pattern conceals even better. And then with everything else, the lighter colors you go, the harder it is to conceal the gun, unless you have like a plaid or a pattern that kind of disorients or distorts the actual print. Now, when it comes to this gun, let me clear it real quick. When it comes to this gun, when it sits in the holster, the only thing that prints is literally this right here, but obviously on the other side because I'm left-handed. But only this right here is what actually prints, and then like literally this. Outside of that, this only prints if like this only prints if I'm wearing like a slightly tighter shirt, but even then it's very light. This is the only thing that, if this is printing, then this is very obvious. But outside of that, there's objectively no printing outside of that little thing. And some people, depending on where you go and where you read, aka CCW Reddit, would be like, oh well, that's too much printing. Yeah, I don't care. People don't notice. People have never said anything. On the very few times where I've revealed that I've had a firearm, usually like at a campfire when we start doing like barbecue guns or whatever, that's the only time when people realize that I carried a firearm in the first place. And it's, again, this is the only part right here is that prints. And then with the compact, it's the same piece, but it's just a little less. So between the X carry grip and the compact grip, the printing is there regardless. It's just this is literally just a hair more because the compact grip is literally like right here. That's where it pretty much stops. Now, as you can see here with this texturing, this right here is actually my undershirt that's been rubbing off onto the grip. So that's what you're seeing there. And yeah, so another thing you have to consider with the full-size gun is the length. If you carry appendix, this may be an issue because when I first started carrying this gun and it was sitting in the holster, I had it exactly at 12 o'clock. And I'm gonna get a little personal here, but the tip of this gun was at the base of my genitals. So like if I were to go to bend over, the gun would actually push onto the top of my member, to put it nicely. And it's a little discomforting knowing like, and I'm not mixing carrying or anything. It's actually like the tip of this holster is what I'm feeling against, is what I'm feeling against my member. It's not the actual gun itself, but still it's kind of disheartening. Now I carry more at 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and that pretty much goes away. That's the only real thing you have to worry about if you're appendix carrying. If you're strong side carrying, from my understanding, I can't really speak on this because I don't do it. The only thing you have to worry about is excessively long guns, because then it starts sticking out of your back pocket. But outside of that, there's really no issue with strong side. But for appendix, that's something you have to kind of consider. And outside of weight, and personally, I find full-size guns more comfortable. At least I find it more comfortable than, we'll say, my shield here. And that's because when my shield is in my appendix holster, right, and I'm a little bit chunkier, if you couldn't tell by the videos, my stomach likes to go over the top, right? And this is especially more so when I bend over. When it comes to the actual SIG, what happens is that when it sits, right, instead of my stomach trying to go over onto the grip, it actually just pushes the gun out more. So now you can argue, oh, now it's going to print more, but to each their own. But for me, I find it a lot more comfortable that when I go to bend over, the gun just pushes, right? And instead of like my stomach just going over the top of it. But again, that's a personal preference for me. And then for me sitting, it's the same thing since I am a little fluffy. Again, the gun just pushes itself out. Whereas with the shield, even when I'm sitting, it just wants to dig into my belly fat. But again, that's just me. So it is what it is. It's to each their own. But yeah, so carrying a full size gun is not hard. You just gotta find the magic sweet spot, at least for appendix, and you have to dress a little bit around the gun. But again, if this is what you're if you're not comfortable with this, carry a shield. I only carry a shield for the gym because it's a lot easier to take the shield off, put it in my gym bag, and then lock the gun in the locker in the gym bag than it is for this shield, or not the shield, this SIG. The SIG, obviously, when I'm taking this off of my belt, this is a lot easier to spot than this tiny little thing here. But again, that's the only reason why I carry the shield. But different tools for different purposes. But the daily carry for sure is this right here. And again, this is going arguing with semantics. Round capacity, I get 17 plus 1, and then on top of that, I get the rail if I wanted to add a light, and then just in general, like for me, like when shooting the shield, the main thing is like not being able to have that full grip, and it's not the full grip in one hand, it's the full grip in both hands, right? Because obviously, since this is a flat base plate, when you go to grip, this hand is kind of, your support hand is kind of not there. Whereas with a full size gun, right, I still have all of this extra room. So when I go to grip, I get a completely full grip to grip this weapon. So and that's what I like. So, but yeah, I mean, to each their own. I personally don't think it's difficult to carry a full size gun, but I also dress around the SIG a little bit. And again, it just mainly like I wear more patterns when I carry this gun, and I carry the gun every day, so I'm always wearing patterns. I wear slightly looser shirts, but not enough for it to be obvious. And since I live in El Paso, I don't normally wear black. So again, to each of their own. But I like carrying full size guns, and for some reason, the way the SIG sits in my waistline, and it could just be the holster, and it could just be the size of the gun. Again, since I have a little bit of belly fat, it's nice that the gun just pushes out instead of my belly trying to go over the top. But yeah, so that's kind of my stance when it comes to carrying a full size weapon. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. If you really enjoyed the video, hit subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.